Set for the kickoff for Washington and Jefferson. That's number 39, Adam Napotnik. And we are just about set to get underway in this battle for first place in the PAC. Here comes the kickoff. It's to the 15-yard line where it's taken by Doree, who will return it for the Spartans. And we are underway on homecoming at Case Western Reserve as Doree is wrapped up at about the 27-yard line by a gaggle of presidents. And the Spartans are set to get their offense going. It will be Drew Saxton under center as he comes out with three wide receivers to the near side. Ryan Coolidge will get the start at wide receiver here today, along with Colt Morgan and Mario Robina. Saxton under center. Behind him is Zach Hall. We've seen the Spartans early on this year establish the running game in the opening few possessions. And it will be a run to start the game. That's Hall with the carry, taken past the 30, up to maybe the 31 before he's wrapped up.
Yeah, so last week we talked plenty about the offensive line, reestablishing the line of scrimmage, 4 yards downfield, which makes Zach Hall's job extremely easy, just like you saw there. Wasn't really touched until he got 3-4 yards down, sets him up in a good position for second down.
2nd down and 7 to go. Snap, it's a handoff to Hall, who has an opening up the middle. Takes it past the 40 to the 50, 45, 40, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, and he's finally taken down inside the 5-yard line. A long run for Zach Hall, who gets the Spartans knocking on the goal line door here.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't think that running back draw is a huge part of Coach Deblak's offense. That could have been a scheme thing. Haven't really seen it a lot this year, but they definitely saw something on tape that they knew as soon as Saxton was going to set up kind of in that in pass mode, defensive line's going to spread out a little bit, open up the gap for Zach Hall, who, that's Coach's dream. Hitting a big play like that early in the game. Spartans, knocking on the door already within the first minute.
So Case Western Reserve, an opportunity to get the early lead in this game. A big package out there for the Spartans, who will bring in, looks like Donald Day III, Kyle Turkowski, and Brett Carney all in the backfield. And Coach Deblak not happy here as he has to call a timeout. Some confusion on the field there. And that will lead to an early timeout here for the Spartans. And after that big play there, maybe a little bit too much excitement there for Andrew for Case Western Reserve. Looks like they tried to come out with a bit of a different formation and just couldn't quite get the field organized.
Yeah, that was a wrinkle that they put in this week. So having 3 running backs on the field like that, it's a super versatile formation, especially down here in the red zone. So we'll see if they stick to it. It would appear that they are. So they're going to have Kyle Turkowski, Donald Day, and then also Brett Carney. Carney, traditionally so far this year, has been more of the H-back type, blocking, bigger body. Has really formed himself into a formidable lead blocker. So we'll see if they pull out here. But like I said, a little bit of a wrinkle, something that may have popped up on tape, something they can expose in the W&J defense.
Watch out for Day here as well. 4 rushing touchdowns on the season. He leads the team. It's Turkowski, though, lined up in the backfield behind Saxton. Carney to Saxton's left, Day to Saxton's right. Saxton looks back to the sideline. 1st and goal from the 4. Handoff goes to Turkowski, who punches it through the middle and into the end zone for the touchdown. And if I'm not mistaken, for Turkowski, just his 7th rush of the season, his 2nd touchdown of the year. And Case Western Reserve strikes the blow early here on the 4-yard run by Kyle Turkowski. It's 6-0 Spartans with a chance to add on.
Yeah, W&J was there. They had the chance to make the play. Turkowski did what all running backs have to do. They made the first guy miss, and that's really where you're going to make your money. Being able to make that first defender miss, having the offensive lines back.
Robertson Albrecht for the point after. And he is nearly automatic on those as he knocks that one through. Albrecht now 68 for 69 on his career in extra points, and Case Western Reserve strikes first here after the 65-yard run, career long for Zach Hall. And the Spartans take a 7-0 lead over Washington Jefferson less than 90 seconds into this game. Pretty good start there if you're the Spartans, Andrew.
Yeah, so you'll hear on TV, all coaches, all offensive-minded coaches, they're going to script out the first 10 to 15 plays of the game. What they don't normally budget into their script is a 65-yard run right up the middle. So obviously having to pull out their goal line package a little earlier than they expect, and that's exactly what Coach Deblak wants in a game like this. Yep. Big matchup, formidable teams. the team that can kind of strike first and really set the tone for the day is going to have a lot easier time.
3 plays, 73 yards on the opening drive for Case Western Reserve. All rushes, 68 yards on the opening drive for Zach Hall, who, again, his career-long run sets it all up. And the Spartans take control early here, and now it'll be turned over to this defense to see what they can do against a Washington and Jefferson offense that seems to have found its groove as of late. First, the kickoff coming here. Robertson Albrecht taking the kickoff. Back to return for the Presidents are Joe Caroli and Omar Whiting. That'll be Whiting who takes it from the far side of the field at about the 8-yard line, past the 20 before he's tripped up and taken down. And on the tackle there, that was Caleb Montgomery, the transfer from Morehead State. And we have an injury on the play, and it looks like Whiting is down on the field. And so he will be tended to, as it looks like he's grabbing the back of his leg. And we'll take a quick break here on the field. 13:29 to go, 7-0. Case Western Reserve the lead.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
7-0 Spartans with the lead, just about 90 seconds into this game. Washington and Jefferson will take the field for the first time today as Omar Whiting helped off with his teammates, and we certainly wish the best for that young man.
Potentially a big blow. W&J coming in, one of the better kickoff return units in the country, and especially with a game like this where it's going to be back and forth, points lighting up the scoreboard. Kick returns are important. Field position can really dictate how the game's going to go. So potentially a big loss for the Presidents here.
So the Spartans now on defense here. Good to see Kevin Chris is back out there. Missed the last game due to an injury. First play will be a handoff to the inside, rushing it up the middle. I believe that was Caroli. I'm sorry, that's Jordan West who takes it.
So the Presidents are really going to come at you with two main running backs. They have almost identical carries between E.J. Thompson and Jordan West. Thompson with 60, West with 50. Both, definitely going to be productive backs. A little different style. You see Thompson when he comes in is going to be a little bit more the bruiser. West just a little more versatile, pass catching and also out of the backfield.
Gain of 1 for West. It's 2nd and 9 from the 27. Quick pass out, and it's caught. And a long run here for Peyton Scalos. Scalos finally taken out of bounds at the Case Western Reserve 45-yard line.
So you can see with the idea that WJ is going to be heavy on the rushing attack, little play action, draw the linebackers in, and then they can dink that little slant right behind the linebackers' heads.
Run out by Travis Johnston. Looking at work quickly here is Jacob Adams, the senior quarterback. Adams now slowing things down. Working out the shotgun pass to the near side. Throw is caught. Taken in by Cameron O'Brien, who's taken down inside the Case Western Reserve 40 up to the 36-yard line. And Washington and Jefferson returning the favor here. What you thought might be a defensive battle in this game all of a sudden has been a quick start for both offenses.
Yeah, and both offenses have the ability to really kind of go into turbo mode here. You see W&J will get up to the line quick, look over to the sideline, stop, make sure they have the best play for that situation.
O'Brien to the near side on the far side. Scalos handoff goes up the middle, and taken down is West. Remember, West had the big game last year. 6 total touchdowns on the ground for West against the Spartans when the two teams met last year in Washington, Pennsylvania. He finished the game with 158 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns, and then on the ground another 181 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And was named player of the game, as you might expect.
If he wasn't, I'd hate to see what the other player did. Keep in mind, that was a game for the Spartans last year. Drew Saxton threw for 414 yards. Rush comes up the middle, long throw, and it's just out of the reach of the outstretched hands of Cameron O'Brien.
Solid defense there from the Spartans. We saw Patrick Crossing, number 5, kind of blitzing from depth. We talked about it all last week. It'll be a theme again today. Coach Warren Miller, defensive coordinator for the Spartans, is going to bring pressure. And the beauty of his defense is you don't necessarily know where that's going to come from. They can get really non-traditional with it. Outside linebackers, safeties from depth like we just saw there. So something for Adams, a quarterback, to keep in mind. And it's more of a confusing technique. Can really throw a wrench into the plans for the other team's quarterback.
Once again from the shotgun, here's Adams. Takes the snap, hands off. It's West up the middle. West with a little bit of a hole before he's finally dragged down by Brian Victor. He'll get close to the sticks here, maybe about a yard or two short. We'll say he's at the 23-yard line. And so that'll bring up a 3rd and 2, first third down of the day.
See much as Case Western did on their last drive. W&J also bringing in multiple running backs. Looks like they're going to split West out here in the slot, and then E.J. Thompson's going to stick in the backfield. I would, think this is situation bred for Thompson here, these short yardage runs.
And the shotgun once again, it's Adams, and now a timeout called by Washington and Jefferson. And boy, early on here, you could see both coaches playing this game in the onset like it's one of the more important games of the year, and certainly it is.
Yeah, it's cliche, but game of inches. So stuff like this, you want to make sure you take your time and get the right play versus rushing up and whether the offense is confused or they're out of position or coach just doesn't have the confidence in the play call. So, and that can be something that you see in these tight games between two powerhouse programs like this, is maybe an early timeout to make sure that might seem like just a simple third down play 5 minutes into the game can really be important. Everything comes down to just executing on this one play in a vacuum.
Again, it's homecoming here at DeSanto Field at Case Western Reserve University, and if you missed the early portion of the game, you already missed a lot. It was a 65-yard run for Zach Hall to set up a 4-yard touchdown run by Kyle Turkowski. The Spartans with a 7-0 lead over the Presidents. It'll be a 3rd and 2 from the Case Western Reserve 23. Presidents will come out after the timeout. Will come 2 wide receivers set to the left. Adams with one to his right. Running back now is West. Tight end as well in there. I believe that's John O'Rourke. Handoff comes to West, and he's stood up at the line but finds a second opening, squeezing past the 20 before he's finally taken down, and that will be a first down. A good second effort there by West. Gets the first down for the Presidents.
Yeah, he earned every single inch of that run right there. Case Western's defense, known for swarming to the ball, kind of gang tackling, and that's what it's going to take today. West, Thompson, both going to be tough runners, really tough to get to the ground. So doesn't matter how you get them down, you just need to find a way, especially in those tight situations.
Well, no doubt this will be the best running game that the Spartans defense has played so far this year, but they've only allowed 56 rushing yards per game. So it's a very stout defense. As Adams fakes the handoff, now throws over the middle, and met after making the catch is Josh Burns, who's taken down at the 15-yard line.
So something we've seen early on, it's going to be a hallmark of any team. When you're playing someone like Cameron Brown or a Case Western defense like this, the easiest way to neutralize that pass rush is going to be getting the ball out quick. And you've seen them go to the quick slants, the quick play action multiple times so far. And Cam Brown doesn't even have a chance to get anywhere near the quarterback. So we'll see if that's a theme that continues throughout today.
For momentum given to the 13-yard line, so this will set up a 2nd down and 3. That's Thompson in the backfield. He takes the ball, runs up the middle, runs over Isaac Withrow before he's taken down inside the 10. That'll be to the 8-yard line and set up a first down and goal for Washington and Jefferson, and now they're knocking on the door with a chance to answer.
Yeah, that one hurt. So E.J. Thompson's going to run 5'8", 225 pounds, and he looks every bit of it. So powerful runner, low to the ground. If you wanted to create a short yardage back kind of in the lab, that's what he's going to look like.
We were talking about it before the game, Andrew, but almost looks like a Maurice Jones-Drew type of running back.
Yeah, that's exactly the thought you have when you look at him. So we'll see if WJ takes advantage of that, that size they have in the backfield.
Presidents pinch everyone in towards the line. It'll be a pass, though, coming here for Adams. Adams struggling to find an open man, throws it into the corner of the end zone, and out of play. An incomplete pass there as the Spartans stop Adams there on first down. They'll bring up 2nd down and 8 from the 8-yard line.
Probably the best coverage Case Western has had so far today. You saw Adams had to hesitate there a little bit. Nick Katalesic all over him. So, and that's going to be his calling card. He's scrappy, annoying, going to be in your back pocket. It can really be a pain to go against him for all 4 quarters for stuff just like that. You know, he's going to be tight in coverage and really, I guess, shrink the windows down for the quarterback.
More conventional spread here for the Presidents. This will be Adams under center once again, and he's forced to use another timeout. It's already the 3rd timeout call between the two teams, the 2nd call by Washington and Jefferson. And the Spartans defense maybe stymieing a little bit Washington and Jefferson here, but both of these teams right now moving the ball well early on, Andrew, so maybe not exactly the game we thought it would be in the first couple minutes.
Yeah, and so you're going to get these shootout-type games, and this is when it can come down to even forcing just a field goal. Say they have 5 drives. If you can force a field goal on just one of those, that makes life so much easier. W&J, it's like we mentioned before, you're not really going to slow this team down. That's obviously the goal. But you just hope to contain them. You hope to just chip away, make it a 4-quarter game, and really allow the Case Western offense with Drew Saxton, Colt Morgan, the rushing attack to kind of take over as the game goes on.
Well, this is a Washington Jefferson team that does not kick a lot of field goals. They are just 3 for 5 as a team this season on field goal attempts. So certainly if you can force them again into a 3-point situation here as opposed to getting in the end zone, that'll be a win for this defense on this drive, and then let your offense get back to work. Teams will come out of the huddles here after the timeout. It's 7-0. Case Western Reserve leading with 8:55 left in the first quarter. Second and goal from the 8. With the man in motion, Adams flips it off. That's Caroli who takes it, and he's taken down just shy of the goal line. They'll say he's down at the 2. Interesting look there. As again, Joe Caroli came into the game, and he's a guy that this Washington Jefferson team has used on both sides of the ball this year and in the return game, a very dangerous player.
Yeah, he's a good athlete, and that's what Coach Sirianni wants to do. He wants to get the ball in his athletes' hands, get them out in space like that, and you know, on those jet sweeps, it's really going to come down to how well can your wide receivers block.
So 3rd and 2 from the 2 now. And it looks like West lined up in the shotgun here. We'll see. It looks like he'll take the snap. He does, and will take it himself up the middle and into the end zone for the touchdown. So on the direct snap, West takes it in. His first touchdown of the game is 7th against the Spartans in the last 2 years, and that has Washington Jefferson an extra point away from tying this game with 8:12 left in the opening quarter.
Yeah, W&J bringing in a couple extra linemen there, getting some big bodies going, and you know, if you want to get the ball in West's hands, make it simple. Give it to him, let him get out in space, let the linemen, continue to move the D-line around, and it's exactly what they wanted on that drive. Case Western comes out, puts one on the board, W&J is able to answer immediately.
So that will bring Ian Phillips in to attempt the extra point. And that one is good. And we are all even here. 7-7 the score. Each team scoring on their opening drive of the game. A little bit more of a sustained drive for Washington Jefferson where the Spartans struck quick. But again, Andrew, we're starting to see a game that resembles more last year's game certainly than, the defensive battle you might have expected here early on. But it's been a fun start to this one so far as each team getting a touchdown on that opening drive.
Yeah, it could be a tough day to be a defensive coordinator going against these high-powered offenses. And like we said, sometimes all you're playing for is just that one stop. So whatever you can do to shut down the offense, maybe it's for 5 minutes, and then you get your offense the ball for 2 possessions to their 1, and that can really be the difference in the game. So Coach Miller's got to go back to the drawing board, see what they were doing there. The play-action pass with the slants behind is maybe something they expected. Just need to tighten it up, the execution a little bit. But I mean, the game, that's the game. You gotta see what the team comes out with, what they game plan for you, and you need to adjust. So you hear it's a game of adjustments, and that'll definitely be the case today.
The Potnick for the kickoff. Back to receive are Doree and Johnston for the Spartans. Ball will be taken by, Doree lets it go over his head and into the end zone for the touchback. You could see an effort here, I think, for W&J early on to kick the ball to Doree, not let Johnston beat them on the return here.
Which is a remarkable sentence, isn't it? You're kicking away from the middle linebacker that is returning kicks. I'm pretty sure, go out on a limb. I don't think there's a lot of teams in the country with their middle linebacker returning kicks, but just speaks to the athleticism of Johnston. He's going to be all over the field today and definitely one of the better playmakers on that Spartans defense.
It'll be up to the offense again. Again, on that first drive, it took the Spartans just 3 plays to run 73 yards. Drew Saxton didn't even throw a pass in the opening drive. He'll be in the shotgun here. 3 receivers bunched to his right. Out to his left by himself is Colt Morgan. It's another handoff, and that one taken by Hall past the 30 up to about the 32. It looks like they'll call it on the 31.
So W&J's going, their base defense is going to be the 3-3-5, where they have 5 defensive backs on the field, can really constrict the passing lanes, make it really tough to go through the air. Seems like the Spartans have, made a point early on to run the football, and they've been successful so far. So as long as that's going, I would think Coach Debelak will continue down that road.
Another handoff here. That's Hall again. This time he stood up, and he'll be stopped. They'll give him forward momentum to about the 32-yard line. And so that will set up the first 3rd down of the day for Case Western Reserve. It'll be about a 3rd down and 3 from the 32. They need to get to the 35 here.
Yeah, so everyone knows who the playmakers on this offense are. It's Drew Saxton, and then it's going to be number 17, Colt Morgan. And you're really going to see that on 3rd down here. So we'll see if, they're looking to establish a rhythm early. Saxton for sure wants to, get that going with Colt Morgan here at the bottom of the screen.
Tight end Alex Glatz comes in for the first time today. Snap taken, throw comes to the near side. It's taken by Brett Carney, who takes it past the 35 up to the 38-yard line for the Case Western Reserve first down.
Seeing Carney's versatility there. So from that H-back position, he's going to be some, combination of a tight end, a fullback. You'll see him get some carries here. But last week, they snuck him out, similar route, had about a 20, 30-yard reception like that. So he's, like we've touched on, big body, athletic body, going to be a valuable weapon throughout the day here.
He spent his first 2 seasons on the team as a linebacker. This year moved to running back and has had some success there. As Saxton sacked and hit hard coming up the middle on the play, and a big hit by Alex Keith, the sophomore defensive end.
Yeah, exploding through the quarterback, really just a solid form tackle, and through the offensive line, it can't happen. Saxton had receivers open there in the flat, didn't even have a chance to, get a throw off. So
missed like coverage on the line, I assume, when the guy can come that far open.
When you see a guy coming through like that, it was a goof up. They'll get it fixed. They saw it up here in the booth, and you just got to adjust.
So that'll set up a 2nd and 16. Chase Whitty now into the game. He's had some big catches for the team this year. This one will come out in the flat again. This time it's Hall. Hall past the 40 before he's taken down at the 41-yard line. And that'll set up a more manageable 3rd down here. It looks like it'll be about 3rd down and 7 from the 41. Well, so a lot coming out of the backfield here early on for Case Western Reserve. A 7-7 score on the 2nd drive of the game for Case Western Reserve.
You can see here at the bottom of the screen, looks like almost double coverage for Colt Morgan. They know as well as we do that on 3rd down, that's where Saxton likes to go, so he requires the attention of that safety there at the bottom.
190 yards last year receiving for Colt Morgan against this W&J team. They're going to be very careful with him. Is that one over the top and caught? No! Mario Robina could not hold on to that one as it drops in, a lofting pass. And that will set up a 4th down, and down on the play is Drew Saxton as he was hit in the backfield. Training staff comes out to take a look at him, and we'll see if he's okay.
Yeah, so Max Gardo coming from his safety spot. We thought he was going to be dropped into coverage. Obviously, offense did as well. Came with about a 20-yard head start. Totally clean shot. Not necessarily a dirty hit, but just a good shot right as Saxton released the ball. And anytime you're getting into the the midsection, it's exposed. It's going to hurt. So hopefully just knock the wind out of him. Looks like he's up and moving around. Should be okay.
He's going to run off the field. I'm sure they'll check to make sure he's okay. We hope to see him back out there in the next drive. It will be Ryan Coolidge as the team's backup quarterback if needed, but Spartans hoping that not necessary here. In the meantime, Robertson Albrecht back to punt on 4th and 7 from the 41.
Yeah, and we knew coming in, W&J's calling card and defense was getting after the quarterback and forcing turnovers. Not necessarily showing up in the form of sacks yet, but quarterbacks remember that. They remember taking that shot early on. They remember the safety coming down and getting a free shot at him. So just, playing the mind game, affecting the quarterback, and we'll see if it pays off for him later.
Albrecht with the punt. Back to get his Caroli, who calls the fair catch, and they'll give the Presidents the ball at the 35-yard line. in a 7-7 ball game with 5:08 left here in the opening quarter. So, early on we expected the pass rush, both teams doing their best to neutralize it, but for the first time on that last drive, Andrew, I think we saw the pass rush work really well for Washington and Jefferson.
Yeah, so that's going to be the thing with these quarterbacks, these high-powered offenses, is you need to affect them, whether it's getting your hands up in their face, whether it's getting sacks, or just getting, even every little hit can pile up over the game. So W&J doing that early on, doing a good job of affecting Saxton. We'll see if Cam Brown and the Case Western defense can do the same on the other side.
Let's see. Getting these teams into passing situations is going to be important as the handoff there comes to West around the outside of the tackle before he's pulled down just past the 40. And so that will set up second down in about 5.
One thing you'll notice with West is very rarely is he going to be tackled in the backfield. It's even worst case scenario, it's 2-3 yards. That can make it really easy on Coach Sirianni's offense, knowing that as soon as you go to him, it's going to be positive yardage, setting you up for a chance to succeed on second down here.
O'Rourke, the tight end, checks out of the game, so it'll be a 4 wide receiver set. West in the backfield. Adams pump fakes and throws, and it's off of Cam Brown's hands, who went back in coverage on that one. Interesting, as Brown ended up with that one right off of his arm, it looked like, as he had his back turned.
He did a really good job of realizing early on, hey, the offensive lineman let me go. This seems off. Turn around, kind of retracing his steps, finding the running back on that screen that they were trying to slip out to left. So big body like Cam Brown, just being there, just being in the way sometimes is enough. So big play, third down here for the Presidents.
Here's a snap from the shotgun. Throw comes off. Caught on the near side of the 45. No, dropped on the play. Scalos unable to hold on that one, and that will set up a 4th down here for W&J. Let's see what they're doing. Or no, did they give him that catch? They did, and they'll say first down, so they give Scalos the catch and give him possession up to the 46, so that's a first down.
Yeah, you saw Patrick Crossy make the tackle, and I guess the thought from the referee
first
was
down
there.
And 10 ball on the 46
he was
for
down,
the Presidents.
Down by contact, and then the ball was stripped out after. So first down for the Presidents, moving the chains.
So a big first down there. Pump fake, throw to the near side, that's West. West takes it past the line of scrimmage, gains about 2 on that play as he's taken down at about the 48-yard line.
So you'll see here on the replay, one thing that's probably not going to work out for most teams is putting a slot wide receiver on Patrick Crossy, number 5. Does an outstanding job of shedding blocks on those bubble screens like that. So big body, big athlete. It's tough to get in front of him and slow him down. W&J just trying to get their athletes out in space, and Patrick was able to run him down and stop him for just a gain of 2 on first down.
Spartans bring Josh Smith into the game. He'll line up behind Dylan Zeggers on the far side of the field. Let's see what he's doing here. Watch out for him on the rush. As that one up the middle, and Cam Brown, along with Brian Victor, swallow up the running back West. Maybe gained a yard on that one. And that will set up another third down here, and one of the longer third downs of the day so far for W&J, with 3:11 left in the opening quarter.
And you can tell early on there's tension. It's an important game for both teams. Case Western ranked, W&J right on the edge. These are the big dogs in the conference. It almost feels like a playoff game here in the middle of October.
3 receivers off to Adams' right as he drops back to pass. Now looks, throws, open over the middle, and making the catch for the first down on the offense there is Josh Burns. And Burns, who has been on fire as of late, makes another big catch there for the Presidents. 2 straight 100-yard receiving games for Burns coming into this one, and makes a big catch there.
Yeah, I got to say, I was impressed with W&J's pass protection on that play. They had to double Cam Brown. They had West, the running back, helping out their right tackle on him, and they gave Adams enough time to let his receiver settle on that dig route and move the chains again.
So gain of 17, pass to the near side, and it's intercepted. Dylan Zeggers with the first interception of his career, the defensive end reading the play perfectly, and a rare interception by the defensive end there, and a huge turnover as the Spartans capitalized.
And they had it. W&J had the exact perfect play call in that situation. They had snuck out. 2 of their offensive linemen were out in front, had open grass in front of them. If the receiver caught that pass, it was going to be a first down, if not more, for W&J. So Zeggers, huge play. Game like this, even one turnover can kind of turn the entire tide of the game. So we'll see if the Case Western offense can take advantage of it. Looks like Drew Saxon is back out there, got his win back, and we'll see if they can, move the ball and get back to what happened on the first drive.
Certainly good to see Drew out there. He'll come out with 4 wide receivers, 1 back as they empty the backfield. Now the throw comes deep over the middle. Wide open is Hall, but he's unable to hold on. Hall came out of the backfield, lined up along the line, and came wide open over the middle. It was a clear opportunity for Hall, who, if he caught that, probably would have ended up in the end zone, but instead unable to haul it in. Hall, who's already had a big game, unable to give the Spartans the big boost there. He'll check out of the game now. Donald Day III back in.
Yeah, it was tough. They had it. They drew it up perfectly. They went with the empty formation there and able to isolate the running back on a linebacker, and he just was able to sneak behind. So, missed opportunity, but always a chance they come back to that formation and maybe even that play call.
So again, 4 receivers, Day in the backfield. Saxton with the snap, hands off this time to Day, who gets his first carry of the game. He has some air to breathe. Comes just about to the 50 before he's wrangled down on the play. On the tackle, that's Nick Freewald and Tyler Sabo, but that will be a first down. So a good run there for Day, who's fresh into the game.
Yeah, and that's what Case Western will do. They'll rotate between Day and Hall, just kind of two-headed monster, make sure that they each have fresh legs as the game goes on.
Quick play there over the middle and caught by Robina. And he'll be taken down at about the 44-yard line. So a gain of about 6 on the play. We'll set up a 2nd and 4. Andrew, was Robina last year who came into the game after Justin Fan got hurt and had a nice game for the Spartans. Robina, the team's 2nd leading receiver this year as well.
Yeah, so Mario's thing is he has excellent hands, maybe the best hands on the team. And
that one thrown down the field. Colt Morgan unable to make the diving catch. Went just off his fingertips.
So Morgan's always going to be there. He's always going to be lurking throughout this game, and you never know when, a big shot like that's going to be taken. So we've touched on it already. Colt had a huge game last year against the Presidents. Everybody on the field knows it, including the defensive backs who gave up those yards. So I have to imagine that they're highly motivated. They don't want to see that happen again. And, so far Morgan hasn't been able to make an impact, but like I said, can flip real quickly. All it takes is one play.
Robina, Morgan, and Whitty to the near side of the field. On the far side, that's the freshman, Michael Wachowski. Now they spread out. Day, is that one over the middle? It's Wachowski. Wachowski open past the 20, 15, 10, 5, and into the end zone for the first touchdown of his career. Wachowski all by himself, and the freshman took advantage. The Spartans regained the lead, 13-7 the score.
Yeah, the kid looked good. Caught a little slant pass there on the backside. Spartans had, all the focus over on the left. Saxon comes back to his right, hits the slant, and he's able to take it to the house. So good to see the freshman sure-handed, and then the fun part is getting out in the open, being able to run and finish the play off.
So Albrecht now with an opportunity to make it a 7-point game as Wachowski able to get the touchdown, and that is good. Well, Wachowski might be the guy that this Spartans team is looking for here, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But first, 14-7 the score. The Spartans with the lead. We'll be back in a minute. Inova Living is a modern, amenity-rich residential community located in Cleveland's Greater University Circle neighborhood, offering studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartment homes. Enjoy all-inclusive living with convenient on-site shopping, 24-hour concierge services, a 24-hour fitness center, resident lounge, and more. All within close proximity to Case Western Reserve University. Inova Living online at inovaliving.com. And welcome back once again. An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was called against W&J after the play. Meanwhile, let's take another look at that one as Michael Wachowski with the first touchdown of his career. And boy, Coach Debelak has said the freshman, all the speed in the world, such a talented receiver. Only a matter of time before he becomes a factor in this offense, lined up on that opposite side of Colt Morgan and starting to make his presence felt a little bit already.
Yeah, so especially early on in your career, even one catch like that can really set the tone for your freshman season. These guys come in, they were all conference, all state in high school, and then they show up here and, oh, look, you're 4th on the depth chart. So good to see that Wachowski has worked his way into the starting rotation, and then it's by making plays like that that you can really solidify yourself in your freshman year as, another solid option for Saxon to go to.
Well, his first career touchdown comes at a huge time for the Spartans, who regain the lead, 14-7 2-7 is the score. 1:18 left in the opening quarter. Albrecht to kick off once again. It's Caroli back to receive along with Easton Tanner, I believe. That one to Tanner, who will let it go into the end zone for the touchback. And so the Presidents will start at their own 25, looking to respond once again. The last drive ended on Dylan Zegger's interception.
Yeah, and the theme so far for the Presidents has been, as expected, Jordan West is featured prominently, and we'll see. It's a turnover like that can, kill the momentum, but W&J's been able to move the ball so far. They haven't really had any issue staying ahead of the chains and keeping the momentum rolling. So turnovers like that can really, impact it, but we'll see if they get back into their groove here.
Adams pressured, lets one go to the near sideline. A great catch. Did he pull it in? No. A very nice attempt there and almost pulling it in.
Hey, a lot to take in on that play. Patrick Crosby was in pretty good position underneath. Looked like he just maybe mistimed his jump just a little bit, or else he could have had a chance at the interception. 2 feet down. Looks like right foot might have hit out of bounds. So
that was Jordan Halford for W&J. So the Presidents, again, after responding on the opening drive, trying to answer back here. 1:12 left to go in the first quarter. Huge game between the 25th-ranked Spartans and the Presidents, the preseason favorites to win the PAC, as West takes the handoff and carries it past the 35 to the 36 for a first down, 11-yard gain on 2nd and 10.
You see some of the versatility there when they have West and Thompson on the field. Little misdirection, getting some linemen moving, pulling out to the left, and West is able to follow close behind.
Well, again, a W&J team that lost their main receiving threat early in the season in Andrew Wolf, and they've done a really nice job compensating for that, and some other receivers stepping up, as this will be Thompson. Cam Brown has him in his clutches, and Cam Brown pulls him down. Boy, shows you how strong Cam Brown is. Not an easy guy to arm tackle, but those are some big arms coming at a big man there.
Yeah, we touched on how big and powerful E.J. Thompson is. Well, Cam Brown doesn't necessarily care about that, and you see it on that play. Cam really using his length, and he's got. And that's kind of what plays into his pass rushing skills. He's got this huge wingspan, and he's got really good functional strength out there in the field. So able to kind of show it off there, show off his athleticism, and get Thompson down in the open field.
One other thing about Cam Brown that gets overlooked sometimes, he was out on the field today at 8:30 warming up today and getting ready for today's game. As hard a worker as there is out there. That sets up a 2nd and 12. The pass caught over the middle. This time Halford with it. Past the 45, up towards the 50, where he's finally taken down. They'll give him forward progress to that 50-yard line, and another first down for Washington and Jefferson.
So at least so far in the early, W&J has really shown a willingness to kind of throw these crossing routes, slants, drags across the middle, and they've had success so far. And you look out on the field, and Coach Miller really seems to be unhappy with it. It's like we said, it's frustrating. You can one play have a tackle for a loss for 2 or 3 yards, and then the next play W&J pops off a 15-yard pass. So just need to stay consistent. It's a long game, and defense is going to have to step up here as they have so far.
And that will be the end of the first quarter. Let's go ahead and go down to the field for a special presentation for the 2001 softball and 2001-02 women's basketball teams at Case Western Reserve.
Your attention to the 50-yard line. Today we are joined by members of 2 landmark women's teams at Case Western Reserve, the 2001 softball team and the 2001-2002 women's basketball team, who will each be receiving the University Award for Athletic Excellence at today's Spartan Club Hall of Fame banquet. The 2001 softball team was the first women's varsity team sport at CWRU to qualify for the NCAA championships, going 31-10 overall and winning a pair of postseason games, while the 2001-2002 women's basketball team followed less than a year later, going 20-7 overall and making the only NCAA tournament appearance in the team's history. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the 2019 University Award for Athletic Excellence winners, the 2001 softball team and the 2001-2002 women's basketball team. As we begin the second quarter of play this afternoon, it's first down, 10 to go, ball on the 50-yard line.
Second quarter about to start. First and 10 from midfield for Washington. Jefferson always makes it easy to begin the quarter here when the ball's on the 50-yard line. You don't have to move it. Never a bad thing. It's 14-7, Case Western Reserve University with the lead. W&J driving early on. As that went over the middle, tipped, and getting a hand on that one was Isaac Withrow.
Yeah, so first time we've really seen, the core leader of this defense, Isaac Withrow, there in the middle. Kind of got turned around a little bit, but able to locate the receiver, get his head around, and able to make a play on the ball. So when you have a middle linebacker like that can give you something in coverage, sometimes they're going to be a liability. But if you can get anything out of them in coverage, makes the defense a lot more stout, a lot more versatile.
Some stats here from the first half. Both offenses pretty even, 150 yards for the Spartans, 131 for W&J. How about this? 10 tackles in the first quarter for Patrick Crossy. That one up the middle. Good run there as it's taken back to the near side by West. Finally pulled down on the play by Colin Schuster, but that'll be another first down on a 2nd and 10.
Winding and weaving and just kind of poking his way through the defense. Solid tackle by Schuster. He kind of got taken for a ride there, but he was able to get him on the ground. And then any time that this Case Western defense is going to be able to one-on-one tackle West, that's going to be a big victory for him because he is athletic, he's tough, and he's big and strong. So it's going to be a challenge throughout the day for him.
Boy, you get the feeling no one's going away easy in this game today. Both teams know what a big game it is. Again, the winner in the driver's seat for the conference. Going forward, is that one taken over the middle. The rush goes to about the 29-yard line before West is swallowed up by a gang of Spartans.
Yeah, we talked about him. W&J's offensive line's been pretty strong so far in pass protection. They're also doing a good job in the run game, starting to move some bodies. And you look at, across the board, good size, 280, 290 pounds on these guys. So can really wear on a defense as they continue to pound it like they have.
Snap, back to pass. Over the middle and unable to reel that one in is Scalos. And we have a player down in the middle of the field. It looks like that's Isaac Withrow, who is down for the Spartans.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of friendly fire. Couldn't see who the other Spartans player was, but hopefully just knock knees, hopefully just a little bruise, and he'll be able to come back, but we'll see.
Well, some early work here for the training staff for the Spartans, as we certainly hope Withrow is okay. The senior, one of the leaders on this team, not just on the field, but also in the classroom. I believe a 3.8 GPA. He was the team's nominee this season for the Campbell Trophy, presented to the best all-around student athlete in Division III football. And he will be helped off the field here. So the Spartans leading 14-7, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 6 from the 31 when we resume as Withrow helped off the field. I would imagine Michael Amadio coming into the game here. He will for Withrow. And Amadio is a guy that Coach Debelak has said we feel comfortable when he has to come in the game. As good as Withrow is, we're comfortable with Michael Amadio in there in his stead.
Yeah, and Amadio's he's one of the core special teams players for the Spartans. So he's been out on the field today, so it's not like he's just coming in there completely cold. But yeah, chance to step up. He hasn't necessarily been a consistent starter for the Spartans, but now, gets a chance to shine here in this big homecoming game.
Snap taken a little bit low. Finally, the handoff comes to West, and he will be wrapped up at about the 29-yard line. That'll be short of the first down. They may give him progress to the 28. Either way, it will set up a 4th down and short, and the decision here comes for W&J. I got to imagine they'll be going for it here.
Yeah, just looking on how they've been able to run the ball, and we talked about it, not a whole lot of runs for no or negative yards. So at this point, it looks like President's going to keep the offense out there and, trust in their offensive line, and I would think they're running backs.
We'll call it a 4th and 4 from the 29-yard line. They move it up a yard, so 4th and 3 from the 28. And a huge play coming up here in the early going of this game. 4 wide receivers, 1 back, it's West. Adams takes the snap from the shotgun, looks to pass, and he's swallowed up, fumbles the ball. It's on the ground. Poltrak doesn't see it. Finally scooped up on the play, and the Spartans regain possession As coming in to get the fumble recovery is Travis Johnson. Let's see who had the wrap-up here. If that's Cam Brown, that puts him awfully close to the sack record.
Yes, sir. That's exactly who it is.
So Cam Brown with the strip sack, the 31.5 sack, 31st.5 sack, I guess, of his career. And that puts him just a sack and a half away from the program's career record.
Yeah, really a remarkable stretch. He's been consistent over his entire career, but he's really jacked it up here in the last 2-3 weeks. So in the last now 5.5 quarters, about that, he's got 3 strip sacks. He had 2 last week against Westminster, able to get another hand on it this week. And like we said, Case Western's defense kind of back against the wall. Ball was moving against them, able to get a turnover. Big stop there on 4th down and turn the keys back over to the Spartans offense.
A team high 7.5 sacks now for Cam Brown. 4 forced fumbles this year, and that is now his 7th sack in the last 3 games. He's on a tear. One man in the backfield for Drew Saxton as the Spartans look to add on to their lead here. That is Carney, who will now swing out to Saxton's right side. Fakes the handoff, now looks to pass, tries to go over the top. It's Whitty, but can't get enough separation. As a good job defensively there by Nick Getz, the linebacker who dropped back in coverage.
Yeah, pretty good coverage for an outside linebacker. Impressed with the way that Getz was able to run with Whitty. Whitty, another one of those versatile athletes that the Spartans have. Kind of more of a running back coming out of high school, but he's transitioned into the more of the slot receiver role pretty nicely for Coach Debelak.
Well, and for Whitty this season, again, interesting player. He's stepped into a bigger receiving role, and even though the number of receptions he's had this year, just 4, he hasn't gotten a ton of receptions, but they've all been for long yardage. He has 101 yards on the season, so averaging about 25 yards a catch. That ball swung off to the near side. It's Day who dances his way past the 40 up to about the 41-yard line, and that will set up about a 3rd down and 7.
The Spartans have gone to kind of those swing passes, getting their running backs out in space, and that's essentially a run. Saxon's able to just kind of flick it out there and let the receivers go to work and try and get some movement on the defensive backs, and it helps. It's going from 2nd and 10 to 3rd and 7 is not exactly what you want, but it makes it just a little easier for the offense.
So Saxton from the shotgun, Day in the backfield. Morgan lined up to the near side by himself. 3 receivers on the far side of the field. Now Day again comes up to Saxton's left side this time. Saxton trying to work his way out of the pocket, looking to try to get an opening, throws, and unable to hold on to it is Colt Morgan, who almost made a fantastic catch for a 1st down, but just couldn't quite reel it in, and that should set up the punt here for the Spartans.
Yeah, impressive pocket awareness there by Saxton, able to kind of tiptoe around the defenders on the ground there, but we talked about on 3rd down, he's going to want to go to Colt Morgan. Looked like W&J had 2, maybe 3 guys in the area of him. He's still able to wiggle free and just wasn't able to complete the catch.
So Albrecht back to punt for the 2nd time today. 2 back to receive here. For the Presidents, that's Tanner and Caroli. And the punt comes short, and that will take a nice Spartans roll and bounce out right at about the 26-yard line, and that's where the Presidents will regain possession.
Yeah, Max Garda had that unfortunate realization that the ball is coming towards my face. It's coming very fast, and I need to get out of the way. So, able to duck underneath it. Spartans got a little favorable roll, and here comes WJ offense. They've kind of hit a couple of hitches the last couple drives, but, again, high-powered, one of the top 20 offenses in the country. So, I guess lurking and waiting, Spartans have to stay focused and stay consistent and just keep rolling with what they've been doing so far.
The Holiday Inn Cleveland Clinic is the preferred partner of CWRU Athletics. Mention CWR teams when booking your next stay as we get set to begin the W&J drive from their own 26-yard line. It's a run up the middle here. And finally, Thompson pulled down. That was Cam Brown and Patrick Crossy both in on the tackle.
Sometimes when you have a defensive end like Cam Brown, the best thing, and it's a little counterintuitive, can be to run right at him. A lot of teams will try and run the other direction, and then guys like Cam will just show their athleticism. They're able to chase it down from the backside. So right there, Thompson on the field, the big bruiser. WJ electing to go right at Cam Brown, and, the defense was up for it on that play.
2nd and 8 now. West will swing out wide. 4 wide receivers now on that side. That one almost jumping the route is Kevin Christis and just couldn't quite hold on to it. But Christis read that perfectly, and that's a veteran cornerback there almost making a big play.
So if you remember, folks, if you think back to the Carnegie Mellon game last year, Kevin Christis had about a 60-yard pick six on that exact play right there. So Chris's calling card is going to be football instincts. He knows situations. He can sense them coming. He can see it coming. Stuff like that, he's able to jump the route and, maybe he gets another shot at it. He's able to pick it off and take it to the house. But great play by Chris. This sets W&J up in 3rd and long.
So 3rd down and 8. The President set to pass to the backfield. Smith on the rush, sacks him. Josh Smith coming in, and he has another sack as he continues to excel on that outside rush position at linebacker, and that will force a punt here for W&J.
Yeah, left tackle Leon Middleton, he just had no chance against Smith. Smith almost with the running start, able to get around the left tackle, easy, no problem, get to the quarterback, and, does just enough to get Adams on the ground. So huge play by Smith. Spartans defense starting to feel a little bit, got some momentum going their way.
5.5 sacks now on the season for Smith, who, if it wasn't for Cam Brown, would be one of the top pass rushing threats on this team. But again, he has had a major impact on games this year, and that will force a punt here for the Presidents. This will be Jacob Sarver punting, a high lofting punt, fair catch called and made at about midfield there by Mario Robina, and that's where the Spartans will take possession. Good field position here for the Spartans as they get set to begin the drive. And again, a 7-point lead for Case Western Reserve. Andrew, we know this is going to be a closely played game, but the Spartans now another chance here with good field position. You want to start to see them take advantage of a few of these.
Yeah, so I think, the theme so far for the Spartans offense has been the big play. They hit the slants to Wykowski. They had Hall, with the 60-yard run up the middle. So if I'm W&J, it's, imperative that we limit those big plays, the chunk plays, the 15-yard runs, the 20-yard passes. That's all Case Western's done so far. It's not like they're, methodically moving down the field, getting 4 yards, 5 yards or anything. So we'll see. We'll see if the W&J defense, especially that defensive line, is able to get in a groove here.
Handoff around the outside today. Day now reverses fields. Come back to the middle of the field before he's taken down after a gain of 3 up to the 47-yard line. So into W&J territory quickly. Thought he was going to have a little bit more of a break there. Maybe made one move too many at the end here. But a nice job there to get some positive yards after that initial play was swallowed up on the outside there for Day.
Yeah, I want to give a little credit to tight end Alex Glass there. Took his guy, drove him about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and was able to get him on the ground. So, we've heard Coach Debelak talk about Glass, sophomore, 6'5", 215. He's really kind of brought on that traditional tight end role in this offense.
Throw over the middle, wide open is Robina. Robina has it up to the 30 and inside the 30 before he's taken down at about the 29-yard line.
Going to see a little tempo here out of the Case Western offense. They're going to try and catch W&J kind of out of position. We'll see if they go through with this.
Here they go. Quick snap by Saxton. Handoff to Day. And that one up the middle. And it's snuffed out. Maybe a gain of about 2 for Day. We'll set up a 2nd down and 8. Andrew, that's a throwback to what the Spartans used to do with Rob Kuda and, in the backfield. They would go up the field quickly, and then they'd all of a sudden have the quick snap back and try a running play after.
Yeah, so what Coach Deb's offense is going to do, and actually W&J does it as well, they're going to get up to the line. They're either going to have kind of a go or no-go. You'll see Coach Debs will give them like a thumbs up, and that's a signal that they're going to run the play, just go with it, try and get it off as fast as possible. Other times they'll stop, look to the sideline, kind of, audible, and get themselves in the right position. But that's one of the beauties of this offense is you can kind of turn the knob up and down as far as the tempo goes.
2nd and 8, handoff to Hall. Maybe got a yard there, or looks like might have even just gone back to the original line of scrimmage. And so that'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 in a passing situation here for the Spartans.
Yeah, Spartans, this is, probably their most consistent drive. Maybe they haven't hit the huge play, but so far, good balance between, passing, rushing, and that's what Coach Debs wants to do. He doesn't necessarily want to, have an 80-20 split either way. That's just going to be the most effective form of his offense is when they know they have the solid, consistent runs up the middle, and then, can hit the big pass play behind it.
2 receivers each side, and the backfield is Hall. He'll now swing out to the right side of Drew Saxon, who takes a snap from the shotgun. Now back as he's being pressured over the top, and it is incomplete as Robina just couldn't quite get to that one. Saxton hit hard again, a little slow to get up, but he seems to be okay as he will walk off the field. No, he'll stay on there. It looks like the Spartans will be going for it here on 4th down and 8.
Yeah, so far I think that's probably the 3rd or 4th time that we've seen W&J bring a free safety blitz, and it can be really tough for the offense to kind of pick that up. You're not necessarily looking at the free safety 20 yards downfield as a potential blitzer, but they've done it. It's been effective so far, and in case Western going to take a timeout here and really take some time to think about it.
Yep. One of those plays, we'll talk about it here in a sec coming up. A big fourth down play coming up. But first, let's go to a quick break. 14-7, Spartans with the lead.
With 31 unique creations to choose from, there's something for everyone to love at Dave's Cosmic Subs. Meat lovers, vegetarians, and everyone in between agree that our freshly baked bread, high-quality ingredients, and homemade sauces make us the best in Cleveland. Come on into Dave's Cosmic Subs Coventry to experience legendary subs in a cosmic atmosphere. And don't forget, we deliver. It's as easy as dialing 216-320-0330. Be the hit of the party. Order Dave's.
7:51 to play in the second quarter. 14-7, Spartans with the lead, and a big 4th and 8 play coming up from the 27-yard line for Case Western Reserve. They'll bring the offense back out on the field here. Andrew, I think that was one of those situations the Spartans didn't want to allow W&J to substitute, so they kept the offense out, didn't huddle, but couldn't quite get the personnel they wanted out there in the place they wanted them. So take a timeout here, and they'll regroup now. 4th and 8.
Yeah, Colt Morgan at the bottom of the screen. Brett Carney in the backfield. He's been really solid in pass protection so far this year. So I would think Spartans probably won't go with the run here, but, always potential for a draw.
Here comes the snap. Throw by Saxton. He's pressured, moves out of the pocket. Now on the run, looks to throw back to the near side. Pass is caught, and let's see if they give him progress past the sticks. They will not, as they say, got to the 20, and I think, boy, that's a little bit of a rough spot there. They call Witkowski a yard short. As we take another look here, I thought he got up to the 19 there.
Yeah, and that's something that's tough for a young receiver. Maybe that's something that he can learn a little bit more, is you always have to know where the sticks are, and maybe he cuts off his route just a little later than he did there. But good catch and catch by Saxton to Witkowski, just short of the line to go. Effectively a turnover for the W&J defense, able to stop the Spartans on 4th down, and they really, especially going into halftime, we know W&J is getting the ball for the second half. Any momentum, any points they can put up here the rest of the way in the first half would be huge for them.
First play up the middle, it's Adams running. He's taken down just past the line of scrimmage. They'll call it a gain of 2.
It's something we could have touched on it last drive with, the Spartans quarterback Drew Saxon, but both quarterbacks you can see starting to get a little bit of happy feet. They know the other team's D-lines are formidable, big sack numbers, big names across that D-line, and you can see they're a little skittish right now because they know those guys are coming.
7:13 to go, 14-7 the score. 2nd and 8 from the 22. Adams takes the snap, fakes the handoff, now works to the near side. Pass comes, making the catch on the play is Scalos, who takes it up about a yard shy of the first down marker.
Yeah, nice little play design, little misdirection, run the bootleg back out the back end, and W&J able to get some Case Western's linebackers in space. They'll take that matchup any day. Any day they can get a slot receiver on a middle linebacker, they're going to be happy.
Quick snap on the 3rd and 2. It's a run, and pulled down is West, and it looks like he'll be just shy of the first down. Less than a yard, I believe. And let's see what the decision is here for W&J. Deep in their own territory, but certainly, it looks like they will punt here.
Yeah, big play by number 42, Michael Madio. We said he's got a chance to come in for Isaac Withrow, who hasn't been able to return yet. And so far, Madio's been up to it. Big tackle there on 3rd down, and just good stop by the Case Western defense. Got thrown out there after the 4th down.
Spartans rush the punt return team onto the field, and it looks like Coach Debelak will call a timeout quickly as they didn't have, or they had too many men on the field.
Timeout of the half.
Yeah, and that'll frustrate a coaching staff. They, everybody knows who's on the special teams units, and sometimes you have different packages, but for the most part, you're going to have the same personnel week in and week out, so it can really be frustrating for a coaching staff. Having to burn a timeout game like this on, it's just an effort thing. It's paying attention and being into the game.
So the Spartans call the timeout here, and let's see if, the other thing, too, is that gives W&J a little bit more time to think about this. Do you have a play in the back of the playbook that you can maybe set up that you're sure that you could get that couple of feet on? So we'll see what happens if they still opt to punt. In the meantime, the Spartans will bring out their punt return team here. Again, it's a 14-7 lead for Case Western Reserve after a quick start for both offenses. It's settled in here a little bit into a defensive battle.
It looks like W&J is bringing the punt team out, so they will at least show punt. Yeah, I would think if they were 15, 20 yards further downfield, they'd bring in Thompson and try and lean on that offensive line, but just too deep in their own half of the field.
This will be Jacob Sarver who's back to punt for the Presidents. And he gets it off, takes a bounce, and the Presidents will touch it up at about the 37-yard line, and that's where the Spartans will take possession of it here. Big drive here, Andrew, for Case Western Reserve coming up. You know, not only a chance to get points on the board before the end of the half, but also a chance to eat up enough clock that you don't allow the Presidents to get another possession here in the half.
Yeah, so you'll see this more kind of at the end of the game, but you always hear about the 2-minute offense, the 2-minute drill. Most teams are also going to have a mode where it's kind of the 4-minute offense, where it's just kind of in between. Ideally, Coach Dev's perfect world, 10 plays, go down, score a touchdown, rip off about 3.5, 4 minutes off the clock, and make it tough on W&J. So, but of course they'll take the score any way they can get it. But big drive here, especially like we said, W&J are going to get the ball to start the second half. So if they can tee this up and get in the end zone at the right time, it would really be ideal.
Under 5 on the play clock, Saxton takes the snap. Looking to pass, throws off to the near side. That's Whitty. Whitty, who can run, takes it past the first down marker before he's taken down at the 50-yard line. So right at midfield there for a Case Western Reserve first down.
There's Chase Whitty. I said it last week. I'll say it every week after this. Love the no gloves look. Doesn't need them. Doesn't want them. Just one of those good athletes able to get in space. And, we've talked about it. We've touched on it. There needs to be another option outside of Colt Morgan from the wide receiver position. So whether it's Rabina, Wykowski's had a big game so far. Also Chase Whitty. If you can have a multiple spread attack like that, it can be really tough on the defense.
Saxon looking to throw, gets to the near side. That's Robina. Robina past midfield before he lunges forward. A gain of about 3 on the play. He'll call 2, and that'll bring up a second down and 8. Another catch for Robina here, who's starting to work his way into the game. We're seeing Saxton spread the love amongst his receivers a little bit more than we've seen through the first couple of games this year.
Yeah, and like I touched on, it just makes life a lot more difficult for the President's defense. But haven't seen a whole lot of standout plays from the President's defense, but the D-line is really, really talented. It was no fluke coming into this, so I think they'll show up.
Pass to the near side, that's Morgan past the 40, and they'll call him down at the 39-yard line for another Case Western Reserve first down. And again, the clock will move here.
Yeah, see, this is kind of what we touched on. This is more of a slower drive. They're not necessarily going to go with tempo. They're going to take their time. No timeouts left for the Spartans, but if it gets down to it, they can start throwing more routes to the sidelines and get out of bounds and stop the clock that way. Also stops on a first down.
From the shotgun, Saxton, 4 receivers again. It's been a common formation here for the Spartans as that one comes off to Whitty, and Whitty trudging his way forward. That'll be another first down. Second catch of the drive for Chase Whitty, who gets up to the 28-yard line.
And coming into the game, Chase Whitty, not a huge volume guy. 4 games played, 4 catches, 101 yards. Seen 2 big catches on this drive so far, so maybe starting to find a role, carve out a role as that slot guy, that go-to slot guy for Saxton.
I think this is about as good as we've seen the Case Western Reserve passing game so far this year. In sync so far in a big game against W&J and a chance to add on to a touchdown lead. Spartans with the ball at the Washington Jefferson 28-yard line, 1st and 10. Saxton with the snap, throw over the middle, and that one deflected away.
Really good coverage there by number 13, Nick Getz. That's probably, second or third time we've said that. So he's shown the ability. He can really run with the guys in the slot. And, more of a, I would say, safety linebacker hybrid. As we see there, he's, good athlete, able to drop in coverage and then also come down in the run game. So W&J has the players, just, might not have played up to their standards so far in the first half. But, still, you look, big, high-powered offense. They've only given up 14 points. It's not the end of the world here for them.
Saxton will hand off. It's Hall. Hall trying to find an opening. Gets past one defender. Now gets met inside the 25. And he is awfully close to the first down marker and actually gets past it. And that will be a Case Western Reserve first down. I should say inside the 20. He gets up to about the 18-yard line there. And the Spartans with another first down. The clock continues to tick here under, or just over 3 minutes left in the opening half.
Yeah, it's been impressive to see Hall continue to grow into more of a veteran running back for the Spartans. He's got a little shake, a little shimmy, but then he shows you can also break the simple arm tackles and really get some yards after contact.
Saxton passes near side. Morgan on the bubble screen. He'll come forward with it past the 10 and up to about the 6-yard line.
Fumble.
And they call a fumble on the play at the end, and let's see who comes out with it here. And they will say the Presidents have it. So a late fumble on the play, and Washington and Jefferson recover. So it looks like the Spartans were driving in. But a costly fumble there.
That shows you never give up on the play. So W&J kind of got exposed there with the tunnel screen from the wide receiver position. Defense able to rally to the ball and get the ball out of Morgan's hands. You see the swipe there from behind, and ball is definitely out. Definitely out before Morgan's knee hit the ground. So huge turnover for the Presidents, and now they have the opportunity. So we talked about how Case Western wanted to get points on the board. Here come the Presidents.
Andrew, looked like everything was going the Spartans' way there. They were driving. They were eating time off the clock. Looked like they were going to have a first down and goal, and all of a sudden how quickly things change. And now if you're the Presidents, momentum shifts a little bit. And if you're W&J, getting the ball to begin the second half, real opportunity to turn the tide of this game from what it's been early on.
Yeah, a little curious to see how they attack the play calling here. They have one timeout, 2.5 minutes, so not a huge time crunch, but they do have to be conscious of it.
Snap taken. It'll be a running play here. West takes it up to about the 10-yard line where he's taken down. Gain of about 5 on the play. And he'll bring up a second down and 5. Clock running.
And if you're Warren Miller with this, with this defensive series, you need to do whatever you have to get this team into the locker room up 14-7. Beginning of the game, you ask them, hey, we're going to have a 7-point lead going in. Everybody on Case Western would take it. Conversely, W&J, they just need to hang around, let their athlete, trust their athletes, trust their game plan, and they're still in this game. For all the momentum that Case Western's had, all the big plays, W&J has been the consistent, athletic, technically sound performer that you knew they would be.
So 2nd and 5 from the 10. Shotgun here for Adams. It'll be another handoff to West. West, gain of maybe 2 on the play before he's pulled down by a group of Spartans.
And now this, so we talk about how you have the the silly mistakes on the punt return or some of the procedural stuff earlier in the game. If I'm Coach Debs, I would really like to have 2 timeouts here in my back pocket. Yep. Third down, you got W&J backed up in their own end zone. You'd be able to call a timeout, maybe get the ball back for your guys. So, unfortunate, but you got to do what you got to do at this point. And like I said, just do whatever you need to do to get this stop. Worst case scenario, you go in the locker room 14-7.
So 3rd and 3 from the 12 here in the second quarter. 1:15 and running as the Presidents come to the line. With 2 on the play clock, Adams takes the snap. West has it, evades the first tackle, but still pulled down in the backfield. And that will set up a 4th down in a punt situation, and the Spartans won't have a ton of time to maneuver here, about a 20-second differential. So they maybe, if they wanted, have 1 play after the punt here to try to make something happen.
Yeah, and if I'm the Spartans, I would come after the punt personally, just because, if you play the return, you're not going to have a ton of time. The other thing to consider is W&J's punter hasn't really shown a, long hang time or, a huge net average throughout the game. So decision here for Coach Debs. I know he has been aggressive in the past with punt returns. So, and that's one of the cool things about this Case Western program. Coach Debs is the one, head coach. He's the one handling these punt blocking formations. So kind of a cool thing. Head coach is, focused on punt returns like this. But we'll see what they come up with.
W&J lets the clock run out on the play clock before they call the timeout. So they use their last timeout. They'll put 18.4 seconds on the clock as we now get set
looking
for
down
a
on the
4th and 6 punt.
Looking down on the sideline now, we see senior captain Isaac Withrow for the Spartans, middle linebacker. He is unfortunately on crutches, got that knee taped up with an ice pack. Looks like his day might be done. So Mike Amadio, he's come in, he's played well so far, and it's going to be something that's going to need to continue in the second half because this Case Western defense, it asks a lot out of the middle linebackers. They're calling the shots out there and running the show. So see if Amadio's up for it.
Withrow, the team's leading tackler coming into the game, so a big loss there for the Spartans defense. After the timeout, again, a punt coming up here for Washington and Jefferson. They'll be punting from their own 9-yard line. It'll be Robina back at the W&J 41 to return. Punting out of his own end zone is Sarver.
Yeah, and he's got to do whatever it takes to just get this off. Get it out of there.
And he does. A short punt, though, and it will roll to the 43 before it's blown dead with 9.2 seconds remaining. And let's see what Coach Debelak opts to do here.
So here comes the beauty of 6'5" Colt Morgan. You have quarterback Drew Saxon, more than enough arm strength. He can throw it, 45 yards in the air. So Spartans are in range of I don't want to call it a Hail Mary. It's not like he's throwing it 80 yards. It can be just a normal 40-yard pass. But Colt Morgan really presents a matchup, issue in this situation. 6'5", athlete, big body. He's going to be able to get up and at least give you a chance at the end zone in these plays. So 9 seconds, I would think, maybe a slot, just quick out to Rabana here at the bottom. Maybe, get an extra 10, 15 yards. We'll see what they decide to go with.
Robina and Morgan both lined up along the near side of the field. Saxton steps up to throw, gets it off to Morgan, who gets out of bounds with 2.5 seconds left. So all of a sudden now some options here, and it looks like the Spartans will opt for the field goal, and an interesting play call there. Let's see if the Spartans can turn it into points.
Yeah, so Robertson Albrecht's going to come out. As we touched on, he's Mr. Reliable with the extra points. Pretty good distance field goal here, but this would be huge for the Spartans. If you can make it a 2-score game going into halftime against the Presidents, that's enormous.
It'll be a 41-yard attempt for number 41 here. Set to hold is Coolidge. The kick is up and will be short, and just the second missed field goal of Albrecht's career, and that will end the opening half. So the Spartans, some opportunities they were unable to capitalize on, but still will take a 14-7 lead into halftime here.